Most fitness advice focuses on the wrong signals. Feel the burn, no pain, no gain. Eat hundreds of grams of protein every day. Train until you can't lift anymore. Now, this advice sometimes sounds reasonable, and for decades it's been repeated so consistently that questioning it feels like some type of heresy. But there's a problem. These recommendations focus on the byproducts of training rather than the actual mechanisms of muscle growth. That burning sensation is primarily metabolic waste accumulation, not muscle being built. And eating excessive protein doesn't build extra muscle if your training hasn't created the mechanical tension signal that triggers the protein synthesis. Today I'll explain what the research actually shows about muscle growth, why fatigue and protein obsession may be misleading indicators, and what actually drives adaptation. Here's what most people don't realize about muscle soreness and fatigue. The burning sensation during training is metabolic byproduct accumulation as muscle glycogen is burnt. It indicates you're working, but it's not the signal for growth. Soreness after training is inflammation and microtrauma to the muscle fibers. It's damage, which can be part of the process, but damage itself also is not growth. Growth happens during recovery, when your body repairs that damage and adapts. You train to complete and utter exhaustion. You're depleting glycogen stores and accumulating metabolic waste that takes days to clear. Your body has to allocate resources to cleaning up that metabolic mess before it can focus on building new tissue. Extreme fatigue also elevates cortisol, and elevated cortisol can actually inhibit muscle protein synthesis, the very process you're trying to trigger. Now, this doesn't mean training shouldn't be challenging. It absolutely should be. But the fitness culture has created a problematic equation. Feeling destroyed equals working hard. Not feeling destroyed equals wasted effort. And unfortunately, research does not support that equation. What actually drives muscle growth is mechanical tension. How much force your muscles have to produce, and for how long. You can create high levels of mechanical tension without necessarily creating extreme metabolic fatigue. And in fact, for recovery purposes, creating maximum tension with minimum metabolic waste may be optimal. When you're chronically sore, perpetually fatigued, and spending days recovering just to get back to baseline, you're likely creating more breakdown than your recovery capacity can handle. The goal isn't to avoid hard work. It's to distinguish between the stimulus that drives adaptation and the metabolic byproducts that feel like progress but may actually be interfering with it. Some men build muscle effectively with high levels of fatigue. Their recovery capacity handled it. But for many men over 40, particularly those with limited sleep and high levels of stress, chasing fatigue may be counterproductive. Here's what the research shows about protein and muscle growth. Protein is essential. It provides the building blocks for muscle tissue. Without adequate protein, your body can't build or maintain muscle effectively, regardless of how well you train. For most adults focused on building or maintaining muscle, research supports consuming roughly 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight daily. For a 180-pound man, that's approximately 128 to 180 grams. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon and other researchers who study muscle protein synthesis emphasize that most people, especially older adults, are actually under-consuming protein, not over-consuming it. Getting enough protein becomes more important as you age, not less. So protein matters, a lot. But here's what often gets missed in the protein conversation. Protein consumption without adequate mechanical tension doesn't trigger muscle protein synthesis effectively. You can eat optimal protein while doing ineffective training and see minimal results. The signal is missing. Your muscles don't just absorb protein and grow automatically, they need a reason to grow. And that reason is mechanical loading. The physical stress of resistance training that signals your body to build more contractile tissue. Protein provides that raw material. Mechanical tension provides the work order, the blueprint, and the building permit. Without the signal, those raw materials don't get incorporated into new muscle. They get oxidized for energy or used elsewhere in the body. This is why some guys eat 180 grams of protein, train 6 days a week, and still don't see results. They have plenty of raw material, but their training isn't creating sufficient mechanical tension to trigger the building process. Conversely, when you create high levels of mechanical tension through effective resistance training, your body becomes remarkably efficient at utilizing the protein you do consume. So rather than obsessing over whether you need 150 grams or 180 grams, focus first on whether your training is creating the stimulus that tells your body to use that protein. Get your protein intake into the 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound range. That's the foundation. Then, make sure your training is actually sending the growth signal. That's what determines whether that protein builds muscle or just becomes expensive energy. When you understand that mechanical tension drives muscle growth, your training approach can shift. You stop chasing soreness as a goal and start chasing progressive tension, the actual signal your body responds to. You ensure adequate protein intake while focusing on creating maximum mechanical loading during training. Here's what that looks like with responsive resistance technology. You walk into a studio. The environment is focused, not chaotic. You perform movements on equipment that provides motorized, computer-controlled resistance throughout your entire range of motion. The system tracks your mechanical tension in real time. You push or pull maximally, and the resistance matches your capability in every phase at every moment of every exercise. Because the resistance is continuous and computer-controlled, you create maximum mechanical tension without the inconsistency of traditional weights. You're maximally loaded throughout the entire movement. No coasting through strong points, no excessive fatigue from wasted effort. Sessions are 20 minutes. You walk out having created an intense mechanical stimulus without the metabolic devastation that requires days of recovery. You eat adequate protein, 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Your body uses it efficiently because you've created the mechanical tension signal that triggers synthesis. You're not perpetually sore. You're not chronically fatigued. But you're seeing consistent strength gains because you're targeting the mechanism rather than the byproducts. Your body has energy and resources to actually build muscle, instead of spending days clearing metabolic waste and repairing excessive damage. You have energy when you get home from work. You're present with your family. You're sharp in meetings. The traditional approach treats fatigue and soreness as proof of progress, as trophies. But research suggests they're often just noise around the actual signal. You're not working less hard. You're working more precisely. For many men over 40, this distinction may be the difference between consistent progress and chronic frustration. Most men assume building muscle requires feeling destroyed after training. But what the research suggests is that mechanical tension drives muscle growth. Fatigue is just a byproduct, not the goal. High-quality mechanical loading triggers adaptation. Adequate protein intake supports synthesis. Recovery allows your body to respond. This is one approach men over 40 are using to build muscle efficiently without the chronic fatigue and metabolic stress of traditional high-volume training. If you're curious whether this method might work for your goals, book a complimentary session and experience it yourself. The training feels different than chasing fatigue, but the mechanism may be what your biology actually responds to. I'll see you there.